Yo, this is Blair, and today I'm going to probably make myself a little bit unpopular, but I don't care. I'm just going to come out and say how it is and my views on this, and explain to you why. I just dropped my iPad. I was open for some questions. Let me just grab that. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about dropshipping and why, I mean, there are some exceptions, but in general, I think dropshipping sucks, and I don't really recommend it as a business model. And I'll explain to you why. Okay, now I will talk about when I think it's okay and appropriate to do some dropshipping, because there are some times when it does make some sense, but in general I strongly recommend against dropshipping for the long-term business model to build a real business. Okay, so I'm gonna go into details of why that is, okay, and then I'll talk about the exceptions as to why, there's certain times when, yes, you may want to consider some drop shipping. Okay. We'll dig into that. But in the meantime, I also want to say that I'm open to some questions and answers. So why we let people gather? I'll answer one question right off the bat here. So if anyone wants to type in a question, just go ahead and type it in below. I got my iPad up so I can see them coming. And then after that, we will dig into the content, to the main topic. Then I'll answer more questions. Okay? That's the order. So let's get one question here where I'm letting people gather. Again, today's topic is why I think drop shipping sucks. Okay? There are some rare exceptions where I think it's okay and appropriate to do some drop shipping, and I'll talk about those here as well. And some Q&A. While we're letting people gather, I'm just going to get here and see if there's any questions. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions at all. I'm looking down at my iPad looking for questions. Any questions? Hey, Scott, welcome to Scott and Niraj. Glad to see you guys are on. Scott and Niraj are both in my eCom course that we're building right now. I think that they've been pleased because I can see them digging into the content and asking questions in the group, so I think that's a good indication. If you guys want to comment on my course, feel free to go ahead. Okay. All right, so we don't have any questions now, so I guess I'll go ahead and dig into the main topic, and then we will open the floor for more questions. Okay, so why dropshipping sucks? All right, so first of all, think about this from your customer point of view, okay? Your customer gets a product that you've personally never seen or tested. You don't even know if it's good or not, because you're literally going onto AliExpress, or you're going onto eBay, or you're just picking something at random. True, you try to read the reviews of the supplier, right? But a lot of those reviews are fake, or they're done by their friends, or there's other things that those reviews of customers in the reviews for the product suppliers on AliExpress and eBay are completely unreliable. So the reality is you don't know at all whether they're delivering good products or not. Back in 2015, I did thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of orders with dropshipping. I can tell you that the suppliers that we worked with, even the ones that we thought were good, would deliver crap pretty regularly. So they would deliver 10 products, one of them would be bad, or 20 products, one of them would be bad. So even with the good suppliers, supposed good suppliers that we've been working with, all the time, the consistency was up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. Number two, think about the packaging that it shows up in. Okay, a lot of these suppliers in China are not really good at putting professional looking packaging together. So when it shows up at the customer's door and it's in ugly looking packaging, what kind of impression do you think the customer has before they even open the product? Okay, so they've already got this bad impression of the product before they even opened it. Okay, so unless the product they open is like, wow, it's awesome, right? Then guess what happens? They have a negative point of view, and they're not going to come back and buy from your website. Back in 2015, when I did a huge number of orders drop shipping, right, our repeat customer, it was a freaking joke. I mean, it was a fucking joke. We had almost no repeat customers, and we were doing tons of sales, right? Now, on my store, that it's 100% print on demand, made in the United States, good packaging. Our repeat customers are through the roof. Customers come back and buy from us over and over and over again. And it starts with the packaging, right? It shows up in good looking packaging, okay? So when the customer gets the product, right? So it comes and this packaging is just so, unless the product that they get from China is really good looking and good quality, they're not going to think it's good. So even if it's decent product, right, because it showed up in a bad presentation it just skews the customer's mind, the perspective. It's all about perspective, guys, especially the customer. And then on top of it, think about the time they waited, right? Even with using ePacket, right? It takes, well, it depends on how long it goes, but it takes, you know, roughly 2 weeks, right? But you get the order on your store. Now, most people who are dropshipping are not turning around and processing the order right away and getting it to the person in China. But if you're using this app or like Blair or something, maybe you are, but okay. But still, okay, even if you're sending the data immediately to the drop supplier, right? The Alberto supplier, right? Well, think about this. Do you really think the Chinese supplier is shipping that right away? Yeah, some cases, yes, but majority of cases, no. Okay, so that's another 3 or 4 days on the road. So the customer doesn't even get the product for almost 3 weeks. Because they've waited 3 weeks. The packaging looks bad. And in the case of the quality is so-so. Do you think that they're like, wow, man, I really want to go buy from that person again? Absolutely not. Which is why, you know, I got really frustrated with my dropship store back in 2015, and at the point where I closed it down. Made 6-figure profit dropshipping, and I closed down my store because it was just not worth it. I wasn't building a real business. If I was just dropshipping, I might as well go back to selling on Teespring, or you know, just doing, because it's a lot of other work. When you run a Shopify store, there's a lot of work involved in running a store. So unless you're building a real brand or an asset where you get repeat customers, then why would you even bother? Why not just leave it up to the become an affiliate on another site and just leave it all up to them and reducing your workload and just make products and advertise, right? So that said, what do I think the solution is? I think the solution is private label or fulfillment center. If you want to buy from China, fine. Go out and get a great supplier, bulk ship from them, send it over to the United States, get your own packaging, make it look good. Send it to your house, get your own packaging, make it look good. I mean, there's things you can do if you want to from China, but the best solution, in my opinion, is print on demand. I love print on demand. There's tons of print on demand suppliers these days out there that plug into Shopify. A lot of them made in the United States, okay? And, you know, the reality is you just deliver a better quality service, back-end service to your customer, and they're happier, and then they're more likely to come buy from you. Another thing is this: think about this, the originality of products, right? If your product's from AliExpress or eBay, how many other people can easily go out and access that product? Easily. You could easily have 100 people. So let's just say you're selling a dropship product on your website today, right? Or on your fan page, right? And it starts to get some exposure, right? Well, it's an eBay product or AliExpress product. How difficult is it for your competitors to go out and do the same thing? Now, the same thing happens to me in my print-on-demand business. Don't get me wrong, there are copycats, right? But there's still a little more of a hurdle they have to jump through. They have to go out and get the design made, right? And they have to, it's just a little more complicated, right? So yes, you do get copycats in all businesses, and that's something that's unavoidable. But the point is, it's easier for someone to copy you if it's dropshipping than it is if it's print-on-demand and it's your own product, okay? So yeah, I highly recommend you private label your own products through print on demand. Not private. I don't think private label is the wrong term. Sorry, excuse me. You do your own original products through print on demand. What's the downside of print on demand? I'm not going to say that print on demand is 100% perfect, because it's not. Okay, it's not, and I'm not going to lie to you guys and say it is. The profit margin is not nearly as good. I was making a lot more profit per sale when I did drop shipping, because let's face reality, it's made in China. And you know, the quality is not as good. So when I do print on demand products from the States, yes, my profit margin per unit sold is less, so I need to sell good volume, okay? And it's harder, right? It's harder to come up with original ideas that will sell. I mean, let's face it, this is more based on my creativity or my team's creativity than it is going out and trying to find proven winners on eBay or AliExpress and loading them in my store. But think about the long-term strategy, the branding strategy, the asset that you're building, right? These are your products, your original ideas. They're coming to your customer fast, they're being delivered in a speedy manner, and they're good quality and the good packaging. The overall impression that you're giving your customer, the strong back end, right, is coming to get them to come buy from you again. So that's why I highly recommend I strongly believe the print-on-demand business is so much better for your business long-term, for building a long-term brand and asset, than the dropship business. Anyway, that's it. That's my views. I know some people will disagree with me. By the way, I also talked about when I think dropshipping is appropriate. Okay, if you're a newbie who's really struggling to come up with winning ideas for print on demand, and you just need to get something rolling, get some sales, some action on your fan page and like that, then yeah, I think that is a good time to go ahead and do some print on dropship products from China. Grab some of those products and get them up on your store and start, making some sales, get the ball rolling, maybe do free plus shipping offers. That's fine. That's cool, and that's great. But I don't think it's a long-term sustainable business model that I recommend as a long-term solution to your business. I just don't think that. And so I know some people are going to be upset with me for this video, but I wanted to get my opinion out there. If you're interested in my private coaching or in my eCom course, it's in beta right now. It's almost done. We're about 75% done, but the content, people are very pleased with the content so far, and you can get in for basically less than half the price when it launches. It's going to be $2,500 when it launches, but you can get in for less than half that. I'll see you guys in the next video. You can private message me if you're interested in my coaching or in my eCom course. Cheers.